Hi everyone, I am Hannah Jane Sargamba and I'm going to show you my newly created app, the Google Maps integration. So as we can see here in our screen, the code that we've used, our Maps activity.java as well as its layout. And on this side, we have our running emulator, um, our output of our app. So this is what our app will look like in the actual phone. So after, I'm going to explain some of my codes. And after that, we're going to answer our 8 questions to assess if we truly understand the code, the app rather, that we've created. So let's start with our layout. So this is our layout in our design area. This will looks like. So in this, so we have used our root element as the constraint layout. So we have its child, um, the Google Map fragments, our search edit text, our search button, the coordinates text view, the current location button, and the map type button, where we choose our map type if it's satellite or the normal one. So let's move on to our maps activity.java. So as we can see here in our screen, all of our import libraries that we've used to function our codes. So in this area as well, our variables that we've used, the Google Map or the mmap, the fuse location provider client, our location callback, the location permission request code, our coordinates, the current location, our map type to search, and our updating location. So we'll start in our uncreate on this area. So this is where everything begins and our uncreate. So we connect our app's layout with the code and initialize all our buttons, text boxes, and the map fragment. We also set up the location provider and the button click listeners for searching, checking our current location, and changing the map type. So basically, this is the setup area where the map prepares everything before the map appears. So we have here our unmap ready. So in this function, when the Google Map is fully loaded, we enable the map's zoom controls, set default location. We have set our default location in Manila, and we have the latitude and the longitude as well. And if allowed, the map can show the user's real position. So we have here our check location permission and enable my location in this area. So these two functions works together to make sure the app has the permission to use the device GPS. So if the user hasn't given permission or didn't click on the enable button, it will ask for it. So once granted, it turns on the blue dot that shows the current location on the map. So we also have here our start location updates in this area. So this function tracks off where the user is in real time. It requests continuous updates for the device's GPS and moves the map's marker as the user changes position. It's what makes the app dynamic, not just showing a static map, but tracking its movement. As well, we also have the toggle map type. This function simply switches between normal map view and the satellite view. So it's useful for giving users a clearer or more detailed look at their surroundings depending on what they prefer. As well as we have the search location. So in this area, these functions make the search bar work. When a user types a place name, like for example, Sikatuna, the geocoder converts it into coordinates, then a marker is added to the location, and the camera moves there. So it shows user can explore other places beside their own current position. So we have here now our on request permission result. So this handles our app lifecycle events. So the first deals with what happens after asking for the location permission. So if granted, it activates location features, and if denied, it shows a message. Then the second stops location updates when the app closes to save battery. So if it's granted, it states message toast of location permission granted, but if it's not, the location permission denied. So and on destroy, so it's uses when the app closes to save the battery. So as we can see here on our side, the actual code, so this is part of the enhancement. So it allows Google Map to access the device location. So we'll click while using the app. So as we can see here, our map, like for example, Manila. So I have here our Manila, Philippines. This is our marker. our location, our satellite view, and this is our normal view. So we can use this to zoom in, the plus button, to zoom in and to zoom out. So we're going to answer now our 8 questions. So the first one is, what is the difference between access find location and the access course location? So access find location gives very accurate coordinates, usually within a few meters, by using the device GPS. So this is best when you need the exact spot, like when dropping a marker on your live positions. So access course location as well gives only an approximate area based on Wi-Fi or cell towers, which can be hundreds of meters off. So it's faster and saves the battery, but less accurate. So in short, we can say the find is precise using GPS and the course location is rough using network data. So the second question is, why do we need to request permission at runtime? So starting with in Android, apps can 6.0 apps can't automatically access sensitive data like location, camera or microphone. So we must ask users during runtime so they can choose whether to allow it or to deny. So this protects also the user's privacy and prevents the app from crashing if permission is missing. So it also ensures users clearly understand that location data is being accessed. So it's a safety and transparency requirement. So the third question is, what is Fuse Location Provider Client and why use it? So Fuse Location Provider Client is a special API from Google that combines different location sources like Wi-Fi, GPS, or cellular to give the best and most efficient location result. So we use it because it's smarter and more battery friendly than manually getting GPS data. So it automatically balances accuracy and power use, making it perfect for apps that needs frequent updates like ours. So the fourth one is, how do you add a marker on Google Map apps? So to add a marker, we call map add marker and pass marker options with the position and title. So let's try it to search. As we can see here, we have our add map marker, add marker, new marker options to our, as well as our position, our title that states you are here. So this drops a pin on the map as the coordinates you specify. So in our app, use this when showing the current location or searched places. So the fifth one is, what is lat long and what does it represent? So lat long is a simple object that holds two values, the latitude and the longitude, which describes a point on Earth. So in Google Maps, almost everything revolves around lat long, so placing markers, moving the camera, or calculating the distance. So the sixth question is, how do you move the camera to a specific location? So to move the camera, we use our animate camera. This smoothly focuses the map on the new position. So in our app, use this to center on the current location or the place the user searched. The zoom level controls how close the map view gets. So the seventh question is, what happens if location permission is denied? So if permission is denied, the app can't access the device real-time location. So that means no blue dot, no automatic marker updates, and only the default location like Manila will be shown. However, the app won't crash. Instead, it shows a message explaining the location access is needed for full functionality. So the last question is, how do you enable zoom controls on the map? So to enable zoom controls, we simply call in this area, this is space, the plus and minus buttons on the map, so users can manually zoom in or out, so it makes navigation easier, especially for users who don't want to pinch and drag on the screen. So that's it. That is our explanation of our Google Maps app, how each function works, and the detailed answers to hopefully detailed answers to our questions. So that's it. Bye.